everybody. Welcome to this week's weekly roundup. I have a shorter list, but I have a decent amount of information about the Main Street Bridge and the sidewalk. Understandably, everyone wants to know, what's going on with the Main Street Bridge? Why are we back in this position? And if I'm being honest, I feel your frustration. I don't appreciate having the city be in this position time and time again, but it's not for lack of effort on our part. The Public Works Department, our city engineer, myself, streets, everyone that's involved in this bridge project and bridge maintenance project are working all of the time to try to get ourselves in a better position. I have advocated almost an embarrassing amount of times, I think, to get this bridge project moved up so that we don't keep finding ourselves in this position. Aesthetically, it looks terrible. Safety-wise, it obviously draws a lot of concern. For our business community, it's not what is in their best interest or best for their business. So we are trying over and over again to get this bridge project moved up. What we have right now, and I know there's questions, and they're good questions, about, well, is the bridge itself safe to drive on, and how can that be if the sidewalk has to be closed? So I am not a structural engineer, and I don't pretend to be one. So my understanding of the report that was provided by our inspector is that there is an I-beam that is in question. That I-beam supports the sidewalk, not the bridge deck. And in my simple translation, bridge deck is what we drive over. So this I-beam is on the sidewalk and supporting that sidewalk. It is not supporting the area that you and I would drive on over that bridge. The downside of this whole thing is we've spent the last week working on reviewing options that were presented to us. So we had the inspector provide us a list of options of potential ways to address that I-beam and getting the sidewalk reopened. And all of the options are in the six figures. And to me, that's unacceptable. We have put hundreds of thousands of dollars into this bridge maintenance. This bridge was designated for replacement in 2018. And here we sit in 2022 looking at an end zone of 2026. And all that I see is continued maintenance and continued inspection costs as well for the city. So, I understand that state agencies have a process. I'm not putting the blame on the people. I understand they are only working within a process, but the process needs to be improved. So we're going to continue advocating for something different outside of that process for this bridge, because it is not a bridge that is in a condition or in a location that is conducive to waiting year over year over year. We are now on an expedited inspection. I want people to be reassured by that. So traditionally, I think bridges of this type are inspected every 2 years. As the condition deteriorates, that gets down to 1 year and then into the 6 months. We're in that 6-month rotation, and we have been for a bit of time. And what that means is we're paying more then for these inspections as well. So all in all, I want you to hear that according to the inspection report, the bridge decking is safe to drive over. Our city team, please be assured, is doing everything that we can to continue to push this project forward. We're evaluating options. We'll continue to evaluate those later today, and then we'll eventually go to Public Works or Finance or perhaps even the entire City Council for a discussion on what we will do to move forward. I want to just kind of end this with just a little bit of perspective. So this bridge is a part of a state connecting highway, which Main Street is. What that means is, if I grew a money tree outside of City Hall and had the $4.3 million that it takes to reconstruct and rebuild this bridge, I couldn't do it. The state has to participate in that decision making. So if you have any questions, please message us. We don't, as we have written in our About section, we don't respond to comments. There's simply too many. But if you have questions specifically, either send us a message via Facebook Messenger or give a call, and we'll do our best to get that answered. Now into a less depressing topic of dog licenses. So dog licenses are due by the end of this month. That is by the 31st. So if you have a dog here in the city, and I think the age limit is 5, then you need to step in to the finance department and complete that registration process. If your dog is spayed or neutered, it's $5, and if not, it's $10. So again, that's on the first floor of City Hall in the finance department. Talking about the finance department, so we, in this last year or so, have completed reorganization of our clerk's office. So we took the clerk treasurer position, split it into 2, a finance director and a clerk, and then we reorganized the department into the finance department. So if you're looking for the city clerk, which you probably will because it's election time, she is located in the finance department on the first floor. Same spot, just a different name. On the library front, I want to just mention the Friends of the Library, who supports Watertown Public Library in very big ways, is doing a Pie Day, which is on Monday, 3/14, a Pie Day sale at the library starting at 9:30 in the morning until they run out of pies. And they're doing single slices and full pies, and of course that benefits the library. If you want to donate a pie, I think they're accepting those donations on Sunday even. So check out the library page for more information. And also on the library page, you're going to see just a ton of really neat, innovative, different ideas and programs. The teen ones were jumping out at me this week, so they're doing a casual hangout, which they're calling CASH. I love good acronyms, so that's a good one. They're doing a casual hangout on Mondays of every week, and they're doing a different project during that time. The teen room is so cool. I think it's maybe one of my favorite spaces in the new library, so go check that out. They're also doing homework help, and I think it's on Wednesdays, starting at the end of the month. There's more details on their Facebook page. They're doing D&D meetups. There's a ton. For adults, they're doing a basic computer class. And then they're also looking for vintage memorabilia pertaining to baseball. So please know these items will be passed around. But if you have any vintage baseball memorabilia, please connect with the library. They're going to be using that for an upcoming memory care class. Next week at City Council, the council will be taking up our ARPA policy. So this is our American Rescue Plan Act funds. It's the kind of one-time tranche of money. Well, it's coming in two, but this one-time opportunity to receive federal funding to help bring communities out of this pandemic. We have done some systematic approaches at how we'll spend that money. And the policy is really the last step in kind of continuing our progress with using that one-time funding. We will also be approving at council next week all of our annual street contractors. So that's a big one for us, and really is just the last piece of the puzzle to start our spring street work. We will be doing some posts on what areas we'll be doing our spring and summer annual street work, so watch for more information on that. On the Park and Rec front, spring break is really starting to shape up wonderfully. I am so enthusiastic about the programming that we have for this spring break. It makes me want to be able to stay and attend it. So there's something, I think as far as I can tell, nearly every day of the week. And I'm just going to highlight a couple here. So they're doing a science experiment day where they'll make slime. I think that's Mondays, and do other experiments. There's going to be Spring Family Bingo. Wednesday, a magician is coming, which I think will be really fun. They're going to do a family fun day where they play bags and do relay races. And then there's also a French, I think they're calling it Friday Crafternoon. And it's friendship bracelets, rock painting, just a wide variety of activities. So I would encourage you, if you're going to be around for spring break, which is the last week of the month for our public school system, to check out all the activities. Many of them are free, not all, but many of them are free. We are still doing our sign up for all of our seasonal leagues, soccer, baseball, softball, but we are in need of coaches and refs, particularly for soccer. So if you're willing to coach or ref, please connect with the Park and Rec. On the town square front, we are still, it's open for bidding. We're getting a lot of great questions, which is a good sign. That closes, I think, around the 24th of this month, and then we'll continue in the selection process. But what I wanted to share this week is it should be going home this week, and if you have a student in the public or private elementary schools here in the community, they should be getting a flyer in their backpacks. So check out the Friday folder. We are doing a contest for kindergarten through 5th grade of either a written contest or art, either one. And what we're asking for students to portray is what they're looking forward to doing at the town square. And then the lucky winner from that contest will join me and the others that are doing the groundbreaking and putting a shovel in the ground and saying a few words if they'd like at the groundbreaking of the town square. So watch for that flyer. The police department is putting out their weekly updates on calls for service. And I really like those. It's a really good weekly wrap-up and summary of all the calls and all the work and all the time that goes into protecting this community. And it's just a really excellent transparency item. So you can see where we're having more crime and less and what types. So check those out on the PD Facebook page. And then another reminder about the bartender awareness course that's happening later this month. The Jig Jog is tomorrow, which is really a sign of the times that we're able to have these really popular 5Ks back here in the community. So if you're moving around kind of the downtown area tomorrow morning and you're wondering what is going on, it is the Jig Jog. You can still register today at I think at Grinwald Ford where they're doing the packet pickup, or tomorrow right at the Senior and Community Center. But just be mindful that during your morning commutes that there's going to be a little bit of traffic in that area. The library is hosting also tomorrow morning Reading with a Firefighter, which I love. So it's from 10 to 11 at the library. It's a chance for people to engage with our local firefighters, ask them questions, and read a book. So it is finally going to warm up, it sounds like. So there will be endless opportunities to get outside and enjoy the community. We are working on some bike maps. There's really wonderful walking maps, and obviously you guys know all the options out at Brancourt Park. So I would encourage you to get out this weekend, enjoy the warm weather, and have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.